అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. సర్వేభ్యः నమో నమః. Today is another significant day. Today, very important day. Today is the last day of our this course, the second level course on certificate course on Sanatana Dharma. This is the 3 months course organized by Veda Samskruti Samiti in association with Yoga Vidya Peeth. We have covered various topics in greater depth after completing our basic course. And today is the last day of both yoga and the course. Tomorrow you are going to have closing function, valedictory function. So you're all requested to attend the function and make it a success. So now we start the session with Vande Mataram and then Prarthana. So let us request Chala Chittibabu Garu to recite Vande Mataram, please.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malaya Jasitalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Suprajyosna Pulakitayamini, Pullakusumita Drumadala Shobhini, Suhasini, Sumadhura Bhashini, Sukhadam Varadam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram. Namaskar.
Vande Mataram. ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు. Now let us request Surya Prakash Garu to chant Prarthana, please.
Yes, sir. Namaste. Sarvebhyah namaskaraha. Ekanimisham dhyanam. Concentrate on your breathing. Give auto session to your mind not to go elsewhere other than to the class. Trivaram Omkaram. गणानान्त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपवस्रवसमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदान् सुनन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजभिर्वाजिनीवती दीनामवित्र्यवतु। ॐ श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ मातृदेवो भव, ॐ पितृदेवो भव, ॐ आचार्यदेवो भव, ॐ अतिथिदेवो भव। गुरुरेव गतिः गुरुमेव भजे गुरुनैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः धन्यवादः
అతి ఉత్తమం సూర్యప్రకాష్ గారు, ధన్యవాదాలు.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్ ధన్యవాదాలు సార్ నమస్తే సార్
ఓకే, నౌ లెట్ us రిక్వెస్ట్ ప్రభు గారు టు స్టార్ట్ ద వెబినార్ ప్లీజ్.
ఓం ఓం Okay, friends, today, being the last day, I will cover Avadhuta Gita, which is the highest in the Atma Jnana or Brahma Jnana. Basically, human life has four parts: Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. All our life we have been struggling for Artha and Kamas. So Dharma was fundamental. If you have Artha and Kama based on Dharma, it will be happy. If Artha and Kama which you pursue are opposed to Dharma, then you have to pay the price of misery, calamity, destruction. So this advanced course which we are concluding today, and tomorrow is valedictory function, is aiming at Dharma and Moksha, not at Artha and Kama, as you know. So Veda is the repository of Dharma. Adi Shankaracharya told, Vedo nityam adhiyatam taduditam karmas anushtiyatam. Veda prachodita dharma anusthana is the duty of all human beings. And that dharma anusthana will finally lead to moksha. And moksha is based upon jnana. So moksha jnana or moksha dharma or moksha shastra or moksha darshana, that is what is the subject of Vedanta. Being the moksha shastra, Vedanta is focusing on how to get liberation from the miseries of the human life, of birth and death, again birth and again death and again birth and again death. So today being the last session, I want to take you through the highest moksha jnana given in the text Avadhuta Gita. The Advaita Vedanta, which is the most major school of Vedanta, though there are many other schools of Vedanta like Dvaita, Visishtadvaita, Shuddhadvaita, Advaita Advaita, and so on. There are 25 Siddhantas. But Advaita prevails. It was, it is, and it is going to be the most prominent, most popular, and largest following is available. I'm not denigrating or denying the existence of other Siddhantas like Visishtadvaita, Advaita, or Traita, or Shuddhadvaita, Advaita, Advaita, and so on. But I do maintain that Advaita remains the curtain raiser for all the other Siddhantas. All the other Siddhantas are aiming to either extend or modify or specialize Advaita itself. This is my understanding. And because in the sequence also, Advaita Siddhanta was promulgated by Adi Shankaracharya first, and subsequently Ramanujacharya, Visishtadvaita as a specialized Advaita, and subsequently Madhvacharya Advaita, and subsequently Vallabhacharya Shuddhadvaita, Dvaita Advaita, and Nimbarkacharya, and so on and so forth. All the great acharyas, we do our greatest respectful pranams to all the acharyas, because we are less than the speck of dust in front of the feet of all the acharyas. So I have no comments to make on any acharya. So a person will become acharya if he gives independent framework and interpretation to the Prasthana Trayi, that is the Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and Bhagavad Gita. If any one of us, anyone wants to become acharya of that level, Jagat Guru type, then you have to develop an independent framework of philosophy to explain the contents of the Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and Bhagavad Gita. This was done by Adi Shankaracharya by his commentaries to the Prasthana Trayi, and also by other acharyas after him, which I have just referred to with respect and reverence, as much respect and as much reverence to our Shankaracharya himself, because those acharyas never met each other. They belong to different epochs of time. So it is not correct to say that they are opponents of each other. It is our lack of understanding to think like that. We can only think that they are specialized treatises as extensions to the philosophical doctrine of Advaita. So in the Advaita Siddhanta, there are many texts. Of course, the foremost being the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutras, and the Bhagavad Gita, which we have covered. Not the Brahma Sutras we have not covered, it is too complex. Brahma Sutra is nothing but the very formal treatment of the very content of the Upanishads. And these Brahma Sutra bhashyas are interpretations to Brahma Sutras. Brahma Sutras are ascribed to Badrayana. Upanishads, as you know, belong to different times, to different rishis ascribed to them as the deliverers. The Upanishads are part of the Shruti, Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishad, 4 parts of the Veda. And the Bhagavad Gita is a Smriti, which is again the simplified summary of the Upanishads only. Okay, now in the Advaita world, if you think Bhagavad Gita is the first text, first step, let us say, is easiest and simplified, though it is powerful, though it imbibes the essence of all the Upanishads and even the Vedas, but it is simple to understand. So the next difficult thing to understand are the Upanishads and Brahma Sutras. So apart from the Prasthana Trayi, we have many other texts, many other Gitas other than the Bhagavad Gita, delivered by great sages, Maharshis and Yogis and avatars at various other times. Like we have Rama Gita also, and we have Anugita also, which is given by Krishna only to Arjuna only, much later, when Arjuna says, I forgot Bhagavad Gita, tell me once again. And we have, these are the Gitas by the avatars, but then we have the Gitas by other avatars like Dattatreya, and also other texts like our Ashtavakra Samhita, Prabhu Gita. These are very, very advanced Advaitic texts. In addition to the Prakarana Granthas of Adi Shankaracharya, Vivek Chudamani, Atma Bodha, Upadesh Sahasri, and so on. Shankaracharya wrote a large number of books propounding the Advaita doctrine again and again in different ways and means, methods and presentation methodologies in various texts. The doctrine is the same. So in the Advaita parlance, the highest level text can be described, and one of them is Avadhuta Gita. And Avadhuta refers to Dattatreya. The word Avadhuta is a tradition. People keep the name even today. Many gurus, you know, the Avadhuta Dattapetham is there. You know, ordinary people also keep Avadhuta name. In front of my house, there is one Avadhuta Nilayam. So Avadhuta means like a naked, that is the kind of meaning. It is like a person who is scot-free from the bondages of the worldly life. In fact, Shankaracharya of Kanchi referred to Ramana Maharshi as Avadhuta because he is not bound, he is not covered under any rules of any subject matter of jurisdiction of the law or any kind of restrictions. Whereas a sannyasi or a Shankaracharya or even a Mahamandala Ishvara or even any other religious designation is covered, is controlled under the jurisdiction of the rules and regulations given for that particular role. I hope you are able to understand. In the Chaturvarnya system, we have the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, and we also have the ashramas of Brahmacharya, Grihastha, and Vanapastha, and Sannyasa. So the Brahmacharis are covered by certain rules. You have to follow them, only then they are considered as Brahmacharis. Grihasthas are covered under certain rules and regulations, which you know what they are. mainly to support the other three ashramas. And the vanaprasthas are covered under certain rules. They have to live in the forest. And the sannyasa ashrama is also controlled under certain rules and regulations. Whereas an avadhuta is not controlled, not covered under the jurisdiction of any rules, because he is beyond all. So he is free. He may be even naked, or he may wear some rags, or he may be acting like a madman, or he may be acting like a child. Balonmatta Vishashavat Sarvamachare. The realized souls like Avadhutas, they may behave like child or madman. And others think he is a madman or he is a childish person. But he is a totally liberated soul. He is so liberated that he is not bound by any rules. So Dattatreya is the supreme personality of Avadhuta. Of course, there is a whole dynasty, a series, many lineages out of Dattatreya, and even the other lineages of sannyasis. If you go to Kumbh Mela, you can see various lineages of sannyasis coming to Kumbh Mela. They are called the Akhadas. Dashanami Akhada is there, and another Akhada, and so on. Like Ramakrishna Paramsa belonged to Dashanami Akhada, though he was not a formal sannyasi. He was that. That's how Vivekananda and other sannyasis of Ramakrishna Mission, they all come under the official designation of Dashanami Akhada. The Naga Sadhus are separate. There are so many Akhadas, so many branches of sannyasis, sadhus, who all converge at Kumbh Melas. Some of them may be naked, some of them may be not naked. So, in the Nath Sampradaya, the point I am trying to make is, some people say that this Avadhuta Gita, which we will be covering today, belongs to Gorakhnath in the Nath Sam. But again, Gorakhnath is recognizing Dattatreya as the original guru of the Nath Sampradaya. In fact, all the extreme or strong lineages of sannyasis, they declare their affiliation to Dattatreya. Therefore, though we are not very sure whether Gorakhnath wrote it or Dattatreya himself wrote it, it doesn't matter, because Gorakhnath also is a disciple, directly or indirectly, of Dattatreya. Of course, they belong to two different yugas. Gorakhnath is from Kali Yuga to my understanding, whereas Dattatreya belongs to Treta Yuga or Kruta Yuga, I'm not sure. So, if you have the Yuga Gurus, so if you take the Kruta Yuga, Dakshinamurti was also declared as a guru, and Dattatreya was also declared as a guru of Kruta Yuga. And for Treta Yuga, Rama's guru Vasishtha is declared as the guru of Treta Yuga. And we have the Dwapara Yuga, Vedavyasa is declared as the Yuga Guru. And for Kali Yuga, Shankaracharya is declared Kalau Shankarakhyam. So for Kali Yuga, Kalau Venkatanayakaha, Venkateshwara is declared as the Devata for Upasana. And Shankaracharya is declared as the Guru of Kali Yuga. So all these gurus, they have surprisingly told the same thing. And what is that? That is Advaita. Right from Dattatreya or Dakshinamurti to Vasishtha in Yoga Vasishtha, or in Ramasutras of Badarayana, or in the Kali Yuga Adi Shankaracharya's Advaita, which is imported from his great-grand teacher, Gaudapada, grand teacher, Gaudapada, who wrote the Mandukya Upanishad Karika. All these people told the same thing. So obviously they had the experience. Not only they, there are many others who told the same thing. Now, very important point to note is that the Avadhuta Gita is not a theoretical book. It is an exclamation, a song of an Avadhuta. Gita means song. Like Bhagavad Gita means song of Bhagavan, that is Krishna, or Krishna. Whereas Avadhuta Gita is song of Avadhuta, Dattatreya, which is an expression, a declaration of the experience of oneness or Advaita in the universal, highest, sublime, powerful manner. And what Vivekananda has said is, texts like Avadhuta Gita, they show the proof of religion. In fact, I'm using this book, Avadhuta Gita, I'm using this book, Avadhuta Gita, published by Ramakrishna Mission. And Vivekananda says, the Avadhuta Gita is proof of the spiritual, experiential nature of Advaita. In fact, he says, if such texts don't exist, then there is no proof of experiential nature of Advaita. It may be boiling down to a theoretical dogma or a doctrine, which is not the case. Theoretical dogma or doctrine is built for the purpose of argumentation and debates, which Adi Shankaracharya performed on the other philosophical frameworks. Of course, Dattatreya has been referred extensively in the Puranas, in the Mahabharata. Like, for example, Parashurama, after his parents died, he was in total grief. He committed murders of the killers of his father and also the Kshatriyas as a whole 21 times. So he became terribly disturbed. So his parents, who are dead, but appear to him in a subtle form and advise him to approach Dattatreya to get his grief to be overcome. So Dattatreya gave the Upadesha to Parashurama on the Atma Tattva and made him realize that Parashurama himself is an avatar of Vishnu, as you all know. And Dattatreya himself is an avatar of Vishnu. He is one of the 24 avatars, and you know he is born out of the three Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara principles. All three together, you know the story of the mother Anasuya and how she converted the Trimurtis into baby. And finally, Dattatreya was born. So he had the power of all the three murtis. He was a born yogi. He is an incarnation of Vishnu. And he had a large number of disciples. So the statements in this text, which appear to be weird to common people like us, they have to be understood in the context of the personality of the Tattvik. They should not be confused that they are applicable to ordinary folks. So please underline this point which I am mentioning. Some of the statements will be extraordinarily on the verge of being questionable on the sense. the veracity or sanity. You may even question the sanity of the person who speaks such statements. But please realize they are profound truths. And it is not that he is not sane. The fact is that we are not sane. There is profound wisdom in those statements, profound wisdom of sanity. On the contrary, we, ordinary folks lost in the worldly life, are insane. So, the profound wisdom of Avadhuta Gita, let us delve into it. The first statement is, there is no dialogue here, it's a monologue. Avadhuta Uvacha, Ishvara Anugrahadeva Pumsam Advaita Vasana Mahatbhaya Paritrana Viprana Upajaya. Only by Ishvara Anugraha you will get even the Advaita Vasana. Otherwise, you will not be interested. We know a lot of people who read various texts like Bhagavad Gita, or Vishnu Sahasranam, or AL2CCSD, and so on, just for sake of chanting. We know a lot of people who go on chanting AL2CCSD, Vishnu Sahasranam, Bhagavad Gita, without understanding anything out. So such people will not be able to get the central idea. And similarly, we know of people who are hell-bent upon orthodoxy of the rules and regulation and restrictions without understanding the significance behind them. So here, he being Avadhuta, he is not restrainable or controllable by any rules or regulations or restrictions or expectations. And therefore, he speaks the truth in the most blunt manner. Yenedam puritam vishwamatmanyevatmanatmani nirakaram katham vande adhinnam shivam avyayam. In any book, when the author begins, he will say Namaskaram to Ganapati, Namaskaram to Saraswati, Namaskaram to Vyasa, Namaskaram to Agriva, Namaskaram to Lakshmi. On the contrary, he says, Yenedam puritam vishwamatmanyeva atmana atmani nirakaram katham vande abhinnam shivam avyayam. Abhinnam, there is no separation. The ultimate truth is Shivam, Chidanandam, Anandam, Shivam, Avyayam, Nirakaram. How can I do Namaskaram to that? Because for doing Namaskaram, we need two entities. The person who is performing Namaskaram and the person who is receiving Namaskaram. But here there are no two entities, only one entity. Panchabhutatmakam Vishwam Maris Jalasannibham Kasyapyaho Namaskuryam Aham Eko Niranjanam. See the direct declaration. Kasyapyaho Namaskuryam. This universe is an illusion. Panchabhutatmakam Vishwam Marich Jalasannibham. It is like water in the mirage. It is a fraud. This universe which you see is a fraud. It doesn't exist. Panchabhutatmakam Vishwam Marich Jalasannibham. Kasyapyaho Namaskuryam. How shall I do Namaskaram? Aham Eko Niranjanam. Only one is there and I am that. So how can I do a Namaskaram to a second party? There is no second party. Atmaiva kevalam sarvam bheda bhedo na vidyate. Asti nasti katham bruyat vismaya pratibhati. Only self exists. Atmaiva kevalam sarvam. Everything is only self. Bheda abheda. Now, we all know what is bheda, differentiation. He says abheda is also not. Because abheda and bheda are related to each other. They are abstractions of the mind. thought process. Whereas this is something beyond the mind and beyond the thought process. So bheda bhedo na vidyate. Asti nasti katham bruya vismaya pratibhati. Even to say it exists or it doesn't exist is invalid. He says, I am surprised, wonderstruck when people say something exists and something doesn't exist. You can see at what level he is talking. Bheda bheda, asti nasti. Both are related to each other. Veda is related to Aveda, Aveda is related to Veda. Dvaita is related to Advaita, Advaita is related to Dvaita. And Asti is related to Nasti, Nasti is related to Asti. So he is talking of a level of truth which is beyond even definition of existence or non-existence. The Atman alone is all, and there is neither division nor non-division. It appears to be perplexing to say the Atman exists or the Atman doesn't exist. The Atman is inexpressible. Everything in the world has been either conceptualized by the mind or expressed by speech except the Atman. So no conception of division or non-division is possible with regard to Atman, since no second object apart from it exists. So for example, if a person had lived in the solar region from the beginning of his life, he would never have no conception of darkness or light. Because only when you know darkness, you can talk of light. But when you realize, so it's a very profound statement. You have to understand this. You are the self and you are already that, and you alone exist. Or I am the self, I am already that, I alone exist. There is no second entity. So there is no question of non-existence, because it is a continuous existence. There is no break of existence and death, or existence and non-existence. Because if you talk of the level of birth and death or existence and non-existence, you are talking of a lower part of Maya. Vedanta sara sarvasvam jnanam vijnanam evacha aham atma nirakaraha sarvavyapi svabhava. What is the essence of the entire Vedanta Shastra? Vedanta Shastra, including all the Vedanta Siddhantas, 25 of them, and all their books, hundreds of books will be there. 25 Siddhantas and many Acharyas, so on. What is the essence? Is that what is the jnana and what is vijnana? What is vijnana and jnana difference? Vijnana is jnana put in practice. Jnana put in practice is called vijnana. So jnanam vijnanam evacha aham atma nirakara sarvavyapi svabhavataha. By my own true nature, I am the self which has no form. If you think you have a form, then you are living in Maya. The body has a form, not the self. Aham atma nirakara sarvavyapi. I am all pervading. Swabhavataha. By its own true nature. It's not any new feature or anything coming from outside. Nothing like that. It is nirakara and it is sarvavyapi. That's why swabhavata, by nature itself. Jo vai sarvatmako devo nishkhalo gaganopamaha swabhava nirmala suddha saevaham. That deva, that God, that divine being, which is sarvatmakaha, the self of all. Nishkalaha, there's no kalas, there's no parts, it has no attributes. Gaganopamaha, comparable to sky, akasha. Because akasham, gaganam, shunyam, nothing is there. So here also nirgunam, nirguno gaganopama, swabhava nirmala shuddha, by its own nature it is pure. Saevaham, I am that, na samshaya, no doubt. So this realization is moksha. This is moksha jnana. I know it is going to be very difficult, it's going to be abstract, but that is the truth. The best comparison is Akash. Ahameva avyayo anantaha suddha vijnana vigraha. Sukham dukkham na janami katham kasyapi Aham, I am therefore Ahameva avyayaha ananta. I am indestructible, that means not going to disappear with time or diminish with time. Anantaha means I am not going to diminish with space. So beyond space and time. Ahameva avyayo anantaha suddha vijnana vigraha sukham dukkham na janami katham kasyapi vartate. I don't know who and how and by what way, in what way this sukham and dukkham come to whom, not to me. Na manasam karma shubha shubham me, na kayikam karma shubha shubham me, na ya vachikam karma shubha shubham me, jnanamrutam shuddhamatin priyoham. Neither physical actions nor verbal actions are good or bad for me. I am blissful, immortal, pure, jnanamrutam shuddhamatindriyoham. Manovai gaganakaram manovai sarvatomukh. Manotitam manasarvam na manas paramartha. Now this is the most profound statement of truth. That is, Manovai gaganakaram manovai. What is this mind, manas? It is like akasha, gaganam, shunyam. Gaganakaram manovai sarvatomukh. And mana is there in all directions, everywhere. Mano atitam manas sarvam. Mana seems to be transcending everything because it transcends Panchabhutas, Indriyas, Tanmatras, Manas itself transcends. And finally, what is the reality? The mind itself does not exist. Because the universe which you see, the so-called reality which you see, is what is being shown to you by your mind. Since the mind is conditioned in different ways for different people, the reality or the universe of truth which is being perceived by different people is different. And the same person also is different from time to time. So you cannot believe it. You have to reject it. Why? Because the mind is showing this drama. It is a farce. Manovai gaganakaram, manovai sarvatomukam, manas sarvam. And that mind actually does not exist. Because what is mind? Mind is nothing but a stream of thoughts. And what are thoughts? Thoughts are nothing but the result of conditioning, vikara, of the consciousness. As I told you the other day, the pure self-consciousness, when it is conditioned, that is called a thought or experience of a so-called reality and a series of thoughts in mind, and that is the universe which you see, which is a fakery. Now, if you ask a small boy what is the universe which he sees, his version will be totally different. He will say that water comes only from tap. He doesn't know from where water comes. He has not seen a rain. He thinks mother gives everything because he is born out of the womb of the mother and he gets fed by the mother. The mother is everything. There's nothing else he knows. He has not seen anything. He doesn't know what is rain, what is cyclone. So the small boy's universe is nothing but the domain of discourse of his boundaries of his thoughts and mind. And of course, it contains certain objects, object knowledge, model I defined, and it goes on expanding. And even if it expands, it doesn't make it real. It is relatively appearing to be real at that point of time, at that point of space, to that particular person in those circumstances of conditioning. That's all. Within that Maya, it is real. That is, Maya has what is called the Vyavaharika Satta. Beyond Vyavaharika Satta, there is nothing real. Mano vai gaganakaram, mano vai sarvato mukham. Mano atitam manas sarvam na manah paramardhataha. If the mind in param does not exist in reality, paramartha means reality. If the mind does not exist in reality, and whatever the mind showed to you as real also is unreal. Simple logic, simple common sense. So then you reject everything which the mind showed because the mind itself is a fake. It does not exist. Then what exists? Aham ekamidam sarvam vyomatitam nirantaram. The self alone exists. Pashyami katham atmanam pratyaksham vati. I alone exist, and how can I say that I observe myself? I appear or disappear? Because pure consciousness is the frame of reference with reference to which all knowledge, all perception takes place. And that frame of reference is the self. So all perception and all knowledge is taking place with respect to that framework, which is called self. And the mind is a superimposition on that, creating a series of thoughts and Maya and all that is appearing a real so-called reality of the universe. Tvamevamekam hi kadham na buddhase samam hi sarveshu vimrishmavyayam. Sadoditosistam akhindita prabho divana naktam na katham himanyase. Why do you not understand? You are truly that absolute one. You are that eternal Atman reflecting all equally. You are the unrefuted Lord and ever shining. Then how can you think of day or night? I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. These Vedic dictums indicate the same meaning, though the wording is different. So the Mahavakyas are telling the same thing what Avadhuta is telling. In the previous verse, Dattatreya described his identity with the Atman. And here he is trying to convince his disciple that the disciple is also Allah. So in the previous verse, that is verse number 10, he said, Aham ekam idam sarvam yomatitam nirantaram pashyami katham atmanam pratyaksham vatirodhikam. I alone, I am the self, I am alone the self. I am the self which exists alone, he said. And to remove any confusion further, you are also that. Tvameva ekam hi katham na buddhyase samam hi sarveshu vimrishthamavyayam sadoditosi tvam akhandita prabho. He has addressed him, O Lord, you are akhandita, you are indivisible. Because when I am that, you are also the same. You and I are one and the same. Atmanam sadatam vidhi sarvatraikam nirantaram. Know that yourself is everything undivided. Aham dhyata param dhyayam akhandam khandyate katham. If you say you are doing dhyanam, who is doing dhyanam on whom? There is only one self. Akhandam. Khandyate katham. Aham dhyata dhyata dhyayam. Dhyata jnayam. Na jato na mruto sitvam na te deha kadachana. Just reject all that. You are not born and you are not going to die. And you don't have this body. Sarvam Brahmeti Vikyatam Braviti Bahudha Srutihi. Srutihi has said, Shruti means Upanishad has said many times, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Sarvam Brahmeti Vikyatam Braviti Bahudha Srutihi. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma is the first Mahavakya. Sabhahyabhyantarosi Tvam. You are spread everywhere, inside and outside. Tvam Shivaha. You are Shiva. Sarvatra Sarvada. Itastata Katham Bhrantah Prabhavasi Pichachavat. Then that is the case. Why are you running helter-skelter here and there like a ghost? Samyogascha viyogascha vartate na chatena me. Therefore, there is no joining or separation, union or separation. Natvam naham jagannedam sarvamatma eva keval. You reject everything. There is no you and me. There is no universe. Only one, and that is Atman. Sarvam Atma eva kevalam. Shabdadi panchakasyasyam. Naivasitvam nate punaha. Tvameva paramam tattvam. Atah kim paritapyate. Why are you weeping? All this sensory perception world is neither yours nor mine. Neither yours nor you. Tvameva paramam tattvam. You are the Parama Tattva. What is that Parama Tattva? Brahman. You are. Kim paritapyase. Janma mrityurnate chittam bandhamoksho shubha shubho. You don't have birth and death. You don't have bandha and moksha. You don't have shubha and ashubha. Katham rodishire vatsa nama rupam nate name. Oh child, why are you weeping when the nama rupa is neither yours nor mine? Because all these transitions, Janma, Mrityu, Bandha, Moksha, are within the Nama Rupa Jagat, whereas you are not the Nama Rupa Jagat. Nama Rupa Jagat is an illusion created by the mind, which itself is an illusion. You have no birth or death, no memory, no bondage, no liberation, nor you have good or bad. Why do you weep? Oh my dear, name and form belong neither to you nor to me. Nama Rupam Nate Name. So, according to Vedanta philosophy, Brahman is one without a second, but it appears to be manifold by the interposition of name and form, which is called Maya. As the wave has a form and name as wave, but it is not different from the sea. So, the objects of the universe have various forms and names, but they are not different from Brahman. In Samadhi, when name and form disappear, and experiences the oneness of Brahman. Aho chittam katham bhrantah padhavasi pishachavat. O mind, why are you running here and there like a ghost? Abhinnam pasya chatmanam ragatyagat sukhi bhava. Reject all this duality. Abhinnam pasya atmanam. Realize yourself to be only one, not different from anything else or everything else or anybody else. Tvameva tattvam hi vikara varjitam nishkampamekam hi vimoksha vigraham nate charago hyadhava viraga katham hi santapyasi kama kamataha. You are that tattva which is free from all vikaras. You are the unchanging reality, which is motionless, and it is freedom in itself. You do not experience passion or dispassion. Why then do you torment yourself by desiring objects of lust? Vadanti srutayah sarvaah nirgunam shuddhamavyayam ashariram samam tattvam tanmam vidhina samshayah. All the Shrutis are telling Vadanti srutayah sarvaah nirgunam shuddhamavyayam. They are telling the pure, attributeless and indestructible Brahman, which is bodiless, ashariram samam tattvam, equanimous. Then realize that to me, to be me. Me means not only the other three, me and every one of us. Sakaram anrutam vidhi nirakaram tu nischalam etat tattvopadeshena na punarbhava sambhavaha. The same statement is repeated in Ashtavakra Gita also. Ashtavakra Samhita Sakaram Anrutam Vidhi Nirakaram Tunischalam Etat Tattvopadeshena na punarbhava sambhavaha. If you have understood, realized thoroughly Upadesha of this fact that everything that has a form is a fake. Anrutam, Sakaram Anrutam, Nirakaram tu Nischam, Etat Tattvopadeshena na punarbhava sambhavaha. Ekamev samam tattvam vadanti vipaschitah ragatyāgāt punaschittam ekanekam na vidyate. All these jnanis, vipaschitah, jnanis, that is in the Vedantas, the Upanishads, they are telling only one thing, that is ekamev samam tattvam vadanti vipaschitah ragatyāgāt. That being the case, you give up your attachment. Chittam ekanekam na vidyate. When craving is renounced, unity and diversity cease to exist. Now, this is a very important point. Eka anekam. We have been talking of only one. But that concept of one is again with respect to not being one. So, both are not true. Eka anekam na vidyate. You can't say one and many. Both are untrue. The nature of Brahman is beyond just oneness or manyness. Anatmarupam cha katham samadhi, swatmaswarupam cha katham samadhi, astiti nastiti katham samadhi, moksha swarupam yadi sarvam. Now he is asking a question. In the non-self, anatmarupam cha katham samadhi. How samadhi is possible when you have multiplicity in the non-self? And why samadhi is required in the self? Atmaswarupam cha katham samadhi. Astiti nastiti katham samadhi. Moksha swarupam yadi sarvam. If the ultimate truth is only one, and it is beyond all this, there is no question of having samadhi and not having samadhi. Superconscious state is of two kinds, savikalpa and nirvikalpa. In the nirvikalpa samadhi, knower, knowledge, known, knowledge will become unified, but this does not occur in the savikalpa samadhi. Here, Dattatreya means to say that being Atman, it is illogical to think that one should have to practice meditation. Vishuddhosi samam tattvam videham videhastvam ajo avjayah janami hena janami atmanam manyase katham. You are the ever pure and unchanging reality. You are bodiless, birthless, and imperishable. I know the Atman, or I do not know. Why do you think in such terms? Again, when the knowledge comes into picture, mind is coming. Tattvamasya vakyena swatma hi pratipaditaha neti neti srutir bruyad anrutam panchapati. With all the Mahavakyas, the Atman itself is being expressed. Tattvamasi aham brahmasmi sarvam khalvidam brahma ayam atma brahma prajnanam brahma. These are the Mahavakyas. And the Upanishads have said not this, not this, not this. It's a process of elimination or negation, since the Atman cannot be described in a positive. So, by hearing to these statements, you may be getting a feeling like I am getting that what all we thought till today was false till now. Because all the different descriptions, different theories, models given have to be rejected. Because they're all creations of the mind. We are talking of the state beyond mind, where the mind does it exist. Tato vacho nivartante atma. Atmanyeva sarvam maya purnam nirantaram yata dhyanam nate chittam nirlajjam dhyayate. Don't you have shame that you meditate upon something, which means you are different from the object of meditation and the process of meditation. Atmanyeva atmana sarvam maya purnam nirantaram. You yourself are spread everywhere, you yourself are everything. How can you meditate on something which is not yourself? Shivam na janami katham bhajami, Shivam na vanami katham vadhami, Shivam na janami, aham shivaschet paramartha tattvam samasvarupam gaganopam. So look at this statement. I don't know who is or what is Shiva. How can I speak about it? I don't know who or what is Shiva. How can I pray or do puja or upasana to Shiva? If I am Shiva, aham shivaschet paramartha tattvam. The highest truth is that I am Shiva. Samasvarupam gaganopam. It is like space and equals. Naham tattvam samantattvam ka kalpana hetu varjitam. Grahya grahaga nirmuktam swasamvedyam katham bhave. I am not the cosmic principles. I am not the self-same reality. It is devoid of inference and reason and free from subject and object. How can I know myself? What a profound question he is asking. If I am that self, which is only one and there is no second, in that case, how can I know myself? Because knowledge itself means there are two things, the knower and the known. And what are these cosmic principles? The tattvas, Prakriti, Mahat, Ahankara, Manas, Pancha Indriyas, Pancha Tanmatras, Pancha Bhutas, total 24. This is the Sankhya framework. Naham tattvam samam tattvam kalpana hetu varjitam grahya grahaga nirmuktam sasamvedyam katham bhavet. How can it know itself? So that means knowledge itself is false. Anantarupam minahi vastu kinchit tattvaswarupam minahi vastu kinchit atmaika rupam paramartha tattvam nahimsako vapina japyahimsa. An object cannot be infinite by nature. Matter cannot be reality by itself. Truly the Atman alone is the supreme reality. It is neither violent or non-violent. Vishuddhovasi samam tattvam videham ajamavyayam vibhramam kathamatmanam vibhrantoham. You are that pure, bodiless, unborn, imperishable, unchanging reality. How can there be confusion relating to the Atman? And again, how can you say, I am confused? Ghade bhinne ghadakasham sulinam bhedavarjitam shivena manasa shuddho bhedam pratipati. When the pot is broken, the akasha inside the pot, Ghatakasha, becomes the Mahadakasha becomes completely unified with the undifferentiated space. So also, when the mind becomes purified, that means mind ceases to exist. It is united with the supreme beatitude. Thus, no diversity is perceived by me. Na ghato na ghatakasho na jivo jiva vigraha kevalam brahma samvidhi vedya veda kavarchitam. There is no part. We have the ghatakasha, we have matakasha, and we have mahadakasha, chidakasha. Actually, all these akashas are only one. So those, they are appearing to be many selves, like you and me and all these people, but they are only one. There is only one. Sarvatra sarvada sarvam atmanam satatam srutam sarvam shunyam ashunyancha and mam vidhina samshaya. The Atman exists always, everywhere and in everything. It is eternal and unchanging. Realize I am that Atman, no doubt about it. Vedana lokana surana prajnavarnasramo neva kalkulanna jatihi na dhuma margo na deepta margo brahmaika rupam paramartha tattvam vyapya vyapaka nirmuktaha tam eka safalam yadi pratyaksham cha aparoksham cha atmanam manyase. If you have realized the absolute one, which is free from the pervader and the pervaded, how can you think of Atman as perceptible or imperceptible? Advaitam kechidichanti dvaitam icchanti chapare samam tattvam na vindanti dvaita advaita. Some people want Advaita Siddhanta, some people want Dvaita Siddhanta, but none of them are truly knowing the ultimate truth, self-same Brahman, which is divide of Dvaita and Advaita, both. Because Advaita word itself has Dvaita. Vedadi varna rahitam shabdadi gunavarjitam kathayanti katham tattvam manovacham agocha. Brahman is free from colors like yellow, white. It is devoid of qualities such as sound, touch and smell. How do people describe Brahman, which is beyond mind and speech? Yadanrutamidam sarvam tehadi gaganopam tadahi brahma samvedti nadvaita ate dvaita param. When you realize the unreality of the entire world, the whole world becomes unreal and void like space, then only you know Brahman. Then there is no longer any parade of dualities. Parena sahajatmani abhinna pratibhatme Ramakaram tadeva kim dhyata dhyanam katham bhave. It appears to me that my innate self and the supreme self are truly identical and exactly like one continuous space. So the individual self and the supreme self are only one and the same. How can there be a meditator and meditation or the object of meditation? Yat karomi yad ashnami yad juhomi dadami yad sarvam name kinchit vishuddho ajo avyaya. Sarvam jagat vidhi nirakritidam sarvam jagat vidhi vikarahinam sarvam jagat vidhi vishuddhadeham sarvam jagat vidhi shivaikaropam tattvam tvam hisanasandeh kim jnanam yadhava punaha. Undoubtedly you are supreme reality. Why then do you think I know Atman or I do not? Asamvedyam swasamvedyam atmanam manyase katham. Is it a matter of comprehension or is it a matter of experience? Why do you think all these things? Maya, Maya, katham tata chaya, chaya na vidyate. Why are you going on talking of Maya, Maya, Maya? It is a chaya, chaya. It is a shadow. It doesn't exist. By nature itself, it doesn't exist, but appears to exist. Tattvam ekamidam sarvam vyomakaram nirankar. All this is one spotless reality. Adi madhyanta muktoham na baddhoham cha kadachana. Swabhava nirmala shuddha iti me nischita matihi. I am without a beginning, middle or end. I am never bound. By nature I am pure and perfect. This is my firm conviction. Mahadadi jagat sarvam na kinchiditi bhati me. Bhahyeva kevalam sarvam katham varnasmi vidhi. Nothing is perceived by me from the cosmic intelligence down to the manifested universe. Truly all this is Brahman. How can there be any continuation of Varnashrama? Janami sarvadha sarvam hameko niralambam asunyancha shunyam vyomadi panchakam. I know in every way that I am this whole reality, all pervasive, independent and never existent. The five elements are unreal. Anrutam panchabhautikam. Na shando na puman na stri na bodho na eva kalpana sanando na nirananda atmanam yasekam. So when you talk of the absolute, you have to reject the relative. All relative definitions are being rejected. Shadanga yogannataneva shuddham manodinashannataneva shuddham guru padeshannataneva shuddham swayam hitatvam swayameva shuddham. This truth, the self, is naturally pure, sahajam, swayameva shuddham. It's not going to be purified by yoga practice and by Jaraniti, Sutraniti or anything else or etc. etc. Nahi panchatmako deho videho vartate nahi atma eva kevalam sarvam turiyam cha prayam katam. The self alone exists. All the rest is a fake curry. It is to be rejected. Na baddho naiva muktoham. Neither I am born nor I am liberated. Na chaham brahmana pruthak. Neither I am different from Brahman. न कर्ता न भोक्ता हम व्याप्य व्यापक वर्जितः यथा जलम जलेत्स्यन्तं सलिलं भेदवर्जितं प्रकृतिं पुरुषं तद्वत् अभिन्नं प्रतिभाति. Just as water mixed with water remains the same undifferentiated water, so prakriti, matter or purusha, spirit, both appear identical to me. यदि नामन मुक्तोसि न बद्धोसि कदाचन साकारं च निराकारं आत्मानं मन्यसे गतम्. If you are not free indeed, then neither you are ever bound. How then you think of yourself as with form when bound, or formless when liberated? Janami te param rupam pratyaksham gaganopamam yadha param hi rupam yan palankis jalasannibham. I know your supreme form, which is ever present and all pervading like space. Similarly, I know your inferior form, which is indeed like water in a mirage. Vishuddhasya sarirosi nate chittam paratparam aham chatma param tattvam vaktum na lajjate. Don't be ashamed to say that I am the self, which is the supreme reality. Katham rodishire chitta atma eva atmana bhaya viva vatsak kalatidam advaitam paramamrutam. O mind, why do you weep? Even Tyagaraja addressed mind many times. Manasa. You are truly the Atman, because mind actually doesn't exist. It's only the self which exists. You be one with drink, oh my dear, the supreme nectar, Amrita, of the boundless ocean of non-dual Brahman. Naiva bodho, na cha abodho, na bodha bodha cha. Yasya idrisha sada bodha sabodho, na anyada pre. If the Atma, in the Atman, there is neither knowledge, nor ignorance, nor combination of both. He who always has this knowledge becomes knowledge itself and nothing else. I hope you understood this. Jnanam na tarko na samadhi yogo na deshakalo na garupadesh swabhava samvittaraham cha tattvam akash kalpam sahajam dhruvam cha. I am naturally free, naturally enlightened being. I am already that. Na jatoham Rutovapi. I am not born, I am not going to die. Name karma shubha shubham. Vishuddham nirgunam brahma bandho mukti kalam. How can there be bandha and mukti for me? Yadi sarvagato devah sthirah purno nirantarah antaram hina pashyami sabahya abhyantara. When Brahman is omnipresent, luminous, motionless, full and continuous, I do not see any diversity. How can I be inside or outside? Spuratyeva jagat kritsnam akhandita nirantaram aho maya moha mahamoho dvaita dvaita vikalpana. The whole universe appears to me as an indivisible, uninterrupted entity. What a terrible delusion of Maya has created the distinction between duality and non-duality. Sakaram cha nirakaram neti neti ti sarvada veda bheda vinirmuktam vartate kevala Shiva. Shiva alone is kevala exists. Nate cha mata cha pita cha bandhun nate cha patni cha sutas cha shivam mitram na pakshapato na vipakshapata katham santaptasi. Yam ichitte divanakam nate chittam udayastamayo nahi videhasya शरीरत्वं कल्पयन्ति कथं बुधा न विभक्तं च न विदुःखा सुखानि च न हि सर्वं च विद्धि च आत्मा अव्ययम्. Realize the immutable Atman, which is neither the whole nor part, neither undivided nor divided, is beyond happiness and sorrow. Naham karta na bhokta na cha me karma puradhuna na me deho videho va nirmameti mameti kim. I am neither the doer nor the enjoyer. There is no past or present action in me. Since I have no idea of body or bodilessness, how can I say that it is mine or not mine? Ame dosho dukhanam vidhimakam talam gaganopamam. I am free from such weaknesses as passion and soul. I am free from misery pertaining to the body, mind and so on. Know that I am that Atman which is one and vast in space. सखे मनः किं बहुजल्पेन सखे मनः सर्वमिदं वितर्क्यं यत् सारभूतं कथं अथितं मया ते त्वमेव तत्त्वं गगनो. Oh my friend, what is the use of so much of idle talk? My friend, mind, all this is matter of conjecture. I have told you what is the quintessence. You are indeed the reality, boundless, infinite, eternal. येन केनापि भावेन यत्र कुत्र मृतापि योगिनस्तत्र लीयन्ते घटाकाशं शिवाम्बरे. Just like when the pot breaks, the space in the pot is merged into the total space. The yogis, wherever they die, yena kenapi bhavena, in whatever thought, it doesn't matter. The pot is the thought. Kutra mritapi yoginas tatra liyante, they will be absorbed into the Brahman. Tirthe chanchake heva nashtasmudra tyajan, either in a river or in a untouchable place or even in coma. This, as soon as the body goes, yogi will reach Kaivalya. Dharmartha kama mokshanscha vipada vicharanam manyante yoginas sarvam maricha jalasannita. Yogi is considered everything, dharmartha kama and even moksha, as illusions. Atita anagatam karma vartaman prahevacha na karomi na bhujyami iti me nischalamati. I did not perform karma in the past, nor will I perform in present, nor in future. Neither did I, nor do I, nor shall I enjoy their respective fruits. This is my firm conviction. Sunyagari samrasatatvat tishtatyeka sukhavadhuta charatahina nagnas tyaktva garvam vindati kevalam atmani sarvam. श्रितयतुरीयं नहि नहि यत्र विन्दति केवलमात्मनि तत्र धर्मो नहि नहि यत्र बद्धो मुक्तः कथमिति तत्र विन्दति विन्दति नहि नहि यत्र छन्दो लक्षणने तत्र समरसमग्नो भावितपूतः प्रलपति तत्त्वं परमवधूतः. The ultimate truth has been declared by Avadhuta. Sarvashunyam ashunyam cha satyasatyam cha na vidyate. Neither nothingness nor fullness, neither truth nor untruth exists. Svabhava bhavatah proktam shastra samviti purvakam. Thus is narrated by Avadhuta from his own experience and also according to the knowledge of the scriptures. Iti Sri Dattatreya Virchitayam Avadhuta Gitayam Atma Samvityupadesho Nama Pradhamodhyayah. Om Tat Sat. Well, let us close the session.
Yeah. Just another 1 minute. Somebody has CS Gupta Garu. He has got a very dilemmatic question. After hearing 1.5 hours of lecture, he says, I think Avadhuta Gita is not useful to mankind, as it does not give any direction on how to live in this world.
No, it is not interested in giving those directions. You are mistaken. If you go to mathematics, if you say mathematics is not useful because it doesn't give any direction how to earn money, it is like that kind of question you are asking, sir. I'm sorry to say this. You have studied mathematics. You won't tell your mathematics teacher, you're not giving me any direction on how to earn money and how to eat food, how to survive in this world. If mathematics is valuable, in spite of the fact that it doesn't tell you how to earn money, am I right? So Avadhuta Gita is infinitely more valuable than mathematics.
Mathematics has all the problems.
Mathematics, you go to any class or any book in mathematics, it will never tell you how to fill your stomach by earning money, how to earn. So Gupta ji, don't live in that kind of illusion. Next.
There's one more question. Is the Avadhuta stage the ultimate in this rebirth cycle?
Yes,
Does
yes,
it come by sadhana or purvjanma sukrita?
Both. Ishvara anugraha deva pumsam advaita vasana. He has told right in the beginning.
Yes, sir.
So, by grace of Ishvara only, you will get even a smell of Advaita, and let alone become Avadhuta. In fact, when I gave this course on Avadhuta Gita in Usman University's Sanskrit department, Professor Ramulu, the head of department, told everybody, let us go through the Avadhuta Gita and let us try to become Avadhutas by ourselves. Of course, it is a very tall claim, a tall target, but it is like you will come to know something like that. You see, you may not be landing on moon, but when you look at when you see the descriptions on moon, then you will feel as if you are on the moon.
The other question is, as is where condition where we are is Brahman itself and nothing else. Is it correct?
Yeah, there is only one, and that is Brahman, and that is self, and that is you, and that is me. Well, this is quite the opposite of the worldly perception. You have a choice. You want to be in the worldly perception and suffer all the problems which you do anyway. After 5 minutes, that's what is going to start. Or you be in this state even for 1 second or 2 seconds or 1 minute. That itself is a relief. Am I right or not? This is a meditation process. Avadhuta Gita itself is a meditation. Yeah, read the next question.
It is like a descriptive Nirvana Shatakam.
Yes, it is same thing. I told you, no? Dattatreya, Dakshinamurti, Vasishtha, Yoga Vasishtha, Dakshinamurti Stotram or Dakshinamurti's teachings or Dattatreya's teachings, and the Vasishtha, Yoga Vasishtha teachings or the Brahma Sutra's teachings, Bhagavad Gita teachings, and finally Shankaracharya. All are gurus of different yugas. They will tell the same thing. They will tell in different ways. Ekam Sat Vipra Bahudha Vadanti. But they will tell the same thing. Ekam. And this, in this case, that Ekam is the Advaita Moksha Jnana. I told in the beginning of today's lecture, this is Moksha Jnana. So Guptaji is comparing Moksha Jnana with Ardha and Kama. If you want to be in Ardha and Kama, which you are already there, no problem, you can continue to be there. It is only for those who want to get moksha. Mumukshunam apeksho.
The other question is, as per our scriptures, everything is destined as per Prarabdha. Then why Samastri Prarabdha?
No, question is not clear.
Yeah, I think he'll ask one is asked to do. The other question is there a second? Okay, that's the second question. If everything is destined, then the thing we do now will be in next Janma.
See, all that is different. That is within the duality you are talking. He is talking beyond the duality. Avadhuta Gita is not talking about all those things. It is talking about the ultimate truth. So all this, you are in world, you are in bandha, but we are talking of moksha. So moksha jnana is given in the Avadhuta Gita, which is highest possible level. I told right in the beginning, I cautioned, it will appear to be as if it is madness. Like even in mathematics, there are many topics which will appear like madness to all others who don't understand.
Okay.
Next.
These are the end of questions. Babu Garu?
I think some people have raised their hands.
Yeah. Ram Babu Garu, you can unmute and talk.
Yes, sir. Sir, the question meeke sir. The second batch unda, second level ki second batch unda. Nenu konni classes miss ayano initial ga.
That
No,
we'll
we discuss the data. No, any other questions on this, on the lecture?
On the lecture,
not on this,
please ask.
not on this lecture, sir. It is very
Okay,
clear.
Anybody else?
Murthy Garu, you can. BRC Murthy Garu.
నమస్తే గురుజీ, నేను అనేది ప్రారంభం విడివిడిగా ప్రారంభం మన గ్రూప్ ప్రారంభం అంటే సమస్య ప్రారంభం ఎందుకు వస్తుంది అంటే మన యొక్క సమాజంలో వచ్చిన సమస్యలు గత 2000 సంవత్సరాలుగా ఇది జరిగింది గ్రూప్ ప్రారంభం అని అంటున్నాం కదా, అది ఎట్లా, అది ఏమిటనేది.
No, I'm not able to hear clearly your voice. And Chittibabu, did you hear? Can you tell me?
గ్రూప్ ప్రారంభం జస్ట్ ఈ సమస్య ప్రారంభం ఏమిటి అనేది నా డౌట్. ఇది విడిగా ప్రారంభం, వ్యక్తిగతంగా ప్రారంభం ఒకటి ఉంటుంది.
సమిష్టి ప్రారంభం అంటే ఏం లేదండి. సమిష్టి ప్రారంభం క్వశ్చన్ లేదు.
అదే మనకి గ్రూప్ లో మనకి 2000 సంవత్సరాలు జరిగిన బానిసత్వం ఇలాంటి అట్రాసిటీస్ అని ఎందుకు ఇలాంటివి, అది సమష్టి ప్రారంభం ఉంటున్నాం, అది ఏమిటి, అది ఎట్లా ఎలా జరుగుతుందో.
ఇది ఇక్కడ ఏం చెప్పలేదు, అలాంటివి ఏం చెప్పలేదు. ఇక్కడ డోంట్ ఆస్క్ ఆల్ ఇర్రిలవెంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్. ఇక్కడ ఉన్నదాన్ని అడగండి.
అంటే ఇవాళ లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ కాబట్టి, ఇదే క్లాస్ కాబట్టి మిమ్మల్ని
అదే అంటే ఇప్పుడు అది దట్ ఈస్ ఇట్స్ లైక్ ఇప్పుడు జ్యోతిష్ శాస్త్రంలో కూడా కంట్రీ మొత్తానికి జాత చక్రం వేయగలరు. ఈవెన్ ఫర్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ ఇండివిజువల్ హ్యూమన్ బీయింగ్స్ బట్ ఫర్ గ్రూప్స్ ఆల్సో. బర్త్ ఉంటే, బర్త్ టైం ఉంటే, బర్త్ ప్లేస్ ఉంటే యూ కెన్ ప్రెడిక్ట్ జాతక చక్రం based on that. It is something like that. So, okay. Any other questions?
Srinivas Ragar.
Namaste Guruji.
చాలా అద్భుతంగా చెప్పారండి అవధూత గురించి, అవధూత గీత గురించి. ఈ
Thank you.
అవధూత గీత అనేది ఎవరైనా ఒక మంచి ఆథెంటికేటెడ్ బుక్ ఎవరైనా రాశారా అండి? దీని మీద ఏమైనా బుక్ ఏమైనా ఉందా అండి? ఇంకా తెలుసుకుందాం.
There is only one book, and
అచ్చా,
that book
అచ్చా.
is available in Ramakrishna Mission.
రామకృష్ణ మిషన్. అచ్చా. ధన్యవాదాలు గురుజీ.
పురుషోత్తం రావు గారు.
Sir, good morning. If it's not purely personal, I would like to ask you one thing, sir. Which of these three scriptures have inspired you the most?
Which of the?
Scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and
All of them have to be studied, but Avadhuta is the highest. If you have understood Avadhuta Gita, then you have understood everything else. It is very difficult.
thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Guruji, I have one question. If we have a doubt on any of the Bhagavad Gita shlokas, can we message you, Guruji? On
Yeah,
one
okay.
shloka,
So
639
messaging,
shloka.
instead of messaging, you can talk to me sometime when I am free. Okay.
Okay, Guruji. Dhanyavad, Guruji.
Okay, thank you very much, Prabhu Garu, for the beautiful lecture today. It is very informative and gave us a lot of insight into the whole course. So far we have completed. Now, on behalf of all the students, today is the last day. I thank you for all the teachings. Thank you very much. Now let us do Prarthana and Janganam. Surya Prakash garu.
ఎస్ సార్, నమస్తే సార్. సార్ ప్రభు గారు నమస్తే అండి. చాలా మంచి కోర్సు డిజైన్ చేసి మాకు అందించినందుకు చాలా చాలా ధన్యవాదాలు, పాదాభివందనం సార్ మీ అందరికీ. స్వస్తి ప్రజాభ్య పరిపాలయంతాం న్యాయేన మార్గేణ మహీం మహీషాః గోబ్రాహ్మణేభ్యః స్వమస్తు నిత్యం లోకాః సమస్తాః సుఖినో భవంతు కాలే వర్షతు పర్జన్యః పృథివీ సస్యశాలినీ తేసోయం క్షోభరహితః బ్రాహ్మణాः సంతు నిర్భయాः అపుత్రాः పుత్రిణः సంతు పౌత్రిణः అదనాः సదనాः సంతు జీవంతు శరదాం శతం సత్యం వద ధర్మం చర స్వాధ్యాయాన్ మహాప్రమదః సర్వే భవంతు సుఖినః సర్వే సంతు నిరామయాః సర్వే భద్రాణి పశ్యంతు మా కశ్చిత్ దుఃఖభాగ్ భవేత్. ఓ పూర్ణమదః పూర్ణమిదం పూర్ణాత్ పూర్ణముదచ్యతే పూర్ణస్య పూర్ణమాదాయ పూర్ణమేవావశిష్యతే. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. సర్వే జనా సుఖినో భవంతు. స్వస్తి. ధన్యవాదः. ప్రణామः.
ధన్యవాదములండి సూర్య ప్రకాష్ గారు.
ధన్యవాదాలు సార్.
Now let us all recite Janaganamana, all of us. Let us stand up and mute yourself. Firstly, I will mute so that 1 minute. Okay.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद जय हिंद
Jai Hind. ధన్యవాదములండి చాలా చిట్టిబాబు గారు.